All right, so today we're going to be solving a problem for me that's honestly been quite frustrating. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Here we are on my iPad, and what I want to do is I want to open up Shortcuts really quickly for you because I want to show you something. So when we open up Shortcuts, if we just click on the plus button and I come over here to XMind, you can see nothing pops up for it, which is quite frustrating because as it stands right now, this is how I currently have to create a new project. So if I go over to XMind, let's say I got an idea and I want to create something new. Well, what I would have to do is if I come back out, step out of there, go into Wheel Talk Tech, I have to come here, I have to right click, and then I have to duplicate this file. Once I duplicate this file, I have to change the name. So I have to rename it and I could say demo 2. And then after that, I open up this file. Once I open up this file, I can come up in here. I can rename it from demo 2. I can name it the same thing so I'll know exactly what it is. And then I'm able to proceed with whatever video I want to create or whatever piece of content I want to start brainstorming. The problem with this is before I switched over to the Surface Pro for my challenge, I didn't have this problem, meaning that I was using MindNote. MindNote works across all my iOS devices, but MindNote isn't supported on Microsoft, and whatever software I use, rather, it has to be compatible with Microsoft and iOS. And Linux would be a bonus since I'd be bouncing between the three operating systems. But iOS for sure and Microsoft for sure, I needed to work. XMod work. So here's how I got around it to solve this problem. All right, now if we come back over here and we say done, we can actually leave up out of here. We can leave this here. I'm actually just gonna close this out, and you already see that it's nothing here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rename this project to, let's say, XMod YouTube template. All right, and I'm going to open back up XMod. So I'm going to say open that back up. And this demo project that we just did, I'm going to open this up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use an export feature. Now, the cool thing about what I'm going to do, you can see where it says XMind file. The cool thing about this is we can do this with anything, even if it's not compatible within Shortcuts. It doesn't directly have to have an action inside of Shortcuts for us to be able to use that piece of software in conjunction with Shortcuts, which is pretty cool when you think about it. So let me show you what I mean. When we click on XMind, I'm gonna click here. I'm going to say save file. So once I click that, I'm gonna say save file. All right, so once it opens up, I'm going to navigate to where it says delete content. This is just a demo folder I used. I'm gonna save it here. And once it's saved, that's all I needed to do with this. So I create the template how I want to inside of here. And once it's created inside of here, exactly how I want it to be, I export that template. Now this file is exported. So now what I need to do is head back over to Shortcuts. And although we don't have an XMind action up in here, it doesn't matter. So I'm just gonna say file. And what this is gonna allow me to do is navigate to that file. So I'm gonna say on my iPad, I'm gonna scroll down to where it says delete it. Let's see here, where's the delete folder? Right here. I'm gonna grab this, I'm gonna say open. I'm gonna say open. And this gives me the direct path to this. Now, here's the deal. I don't never put it on my iPad or on my iPhone. I always have it in the cloud. That ensures that my shortcuts don't break because I'm not on that particular device and it doesn't have access to that file. So always make sure if you want to use this across all your devices, you always save it to iCloud. But since this is a demo, I'm saving it here because I'm going to delete it after. Now, once that's done, I can come back over here. I could say rename. Because here's the deal. Once we got this file, the very first thing we want to do is rename file. So let's go back over to files. Click right here. And we're looking for rename file, which is right here. Now, when we rename this file, it's a specific way we have to rename it because this file is XMind, which is .xmind. We have to give it that same filing structure. If you want to know the naming structure of a file, you can always right click and say get more info. So let me show you how to do that really quickly. So if we go over to file, click right here, it's opening up in a slide over. I want it to open up full screen. So I'm going to say on my iPad, where is it? Deleted content, right click, get info. And once we click on get info, we can see kind XMind document type. And you can see it right here where it says demo 2. And then you can see right after it says .xmind, which is what we have to name it, .xmind. All right, so that's how you would figure out what the file type you're using. So what I'm going to put right here is .xmind. Now, what I want to do is I want to create a name because I don't want it to ask me every time. So I'm going to say ask for input. Ask for input is just just a prompt we use. So this is going to say, what's the name of your project? Question mark. And down here, I'm going to come over one. And now I'm going to click right here where it says ask for input. I could also click on select variable and came up here and click that as well. But since this is the only one we got, it's safe to do it this way. So if I click right here, select variable, ask for input, exact same thing as you can see. I can hit enter and there we have it. Next thing I want to do is I want to say copy to clipboard. So I don't want this file to be copied to clipboard. I want this ask for input to be copied to clipboard, and you'll see why in just a second. All right. After I've done that, I now need to save this file. So if I come back over to file, I'm going to click on file and I'm going to go to save file. So right now we pull in the file, we rename the file, now we saving it. I'm gonna click on here, make sure it's on file, it looks good. I'm gonna drop down here, and because I know what this is it says ask where to save. I'm gonna turn that off, and I'm gonna click right here. And now it's giving me the option of where I want to save it at. Because this is an XMind file, you want to make sure you're saving it inside of the XMind folder. So any application you do this with, always navigate to that specific folder and save it there. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So I'm going to drop into iCloud. And because this is XMind, I'm going to, let's see, where is it? Probably all the way at the bottom. I'm going to click right here. And now I'm going to create a new folder because these two are like real projects. So I'm going to just say new folder. I'm going to say demo folder. And this is where I wanted to save into this folder. So now I'm going to save it into demo folder. The last thing I want to do is I want to open this file. So I'm going to say file. Now it could be file, it could be open file, or it could be open app. So open file, let's see if this is it. So correct, we do want to do open file. It was funny because I thought open file would have been up under files, but when I looked, I didn't see it. Or did I overlook it? No, it's definitely not up in here, which is weird. But if you type in open file, it will pop up. This is the one you want right here. This allows me to open this file that I just saved, and I could pick what app I want to use. So now I want to use XMind. So I'm going to save it. And now that's it. I can click play. I could click right here and say this. I'm going to say new project. Now remember, it's going to save your file name as this as well. So I'm going to say done. And you can see now when I double click in here, right click, I could just say paste. And you can see now that's why I had it copied to clipboard, because I now have it as new project. All my stuff came over. And if we say done and we step up out of here, we can also see that, let's step back up out of here as well to XMind folder, go into demo folder, and we can now see that it says new project as well. And that is honestly a really, really easy way for you to be able to create a shortcut and level up your productivity. Look, I can't tell you how much time this has saved me being able to just create files and then grab those files, rename it, because as soon as you rename that file, the original file always stay attached. You never ever want to grab that file and just start doing something with it. You always want to rename it, because when you rename that file, you're creating an instance of that file and your template is remaining untouched. So if you ever want to go back and edit it or fix it up or something like that, or add to it like I find myself doing all the time, you can always drop into your resource folder, change up your template how you see fit, and then you can easily do this. Now, I really like this because I can do it on my phone, and by the time I get to my Windows Surface Pro and open it up, that file is already sitting there, because this is based on cross-platform, which I can't tell you how awesome this is. But I hope you enjoyed this video. That's how I boost my productivity. That's how I leverage the Files app to create templates, no matter whether that Shortcuts is supported inside of iOS Shortcuts or not. This works on everything that allows you to export that file. It also allows you to do this on anything where you have a file. Even if you can't export the file, you can use this literally on whatever you want, and then just choose the app you want to open it up and drop it in. I'll link this shortcut up below so you'll know exactly how it works. Here's some other cool shortcut videos that I think you'll be interested in. Till next time, later.